Hello everyone, and welcome to the unboxing and review of the Lakshmi Oracle. I am a huge fan of traditional Hindu art. So when I saw this deck, I had to get it. And just is really beautiful. It's pink with this golden foil on the title and on the border here too. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's by Rockpool Publishing and it's made by Elizabeth Jensen. And it is 36 powerful Hindu deities overseen by Lakshmi. And it comes with a guidebook as well. So let's check it out. Let's open it up. It opens up in this not a tuck box, but in a slide box like that. And here is the guidebook. The inside is just cardboard. I mean, it's got a beautiful texture to it, but nothing, it's beautiful, but nothing too fancy. Okay, here are the backs of the cards. I love lotuses, and this is so beautiful, like a lotus pond. I also love the edges. They're gold, but they're not super shiny. I've seen like shinier gold as edges. This, even though it is pretty shiny, it just feels a little bit more subdued, which I love. I like that. In the card, it also feels really good. Like you can hear that like matte sound. And the cardstock is pretty good. It's flexible, but not too much. It's actually a really good cardstock, I gotta say. Okay, so let's look at the book a little bit. So here we have our guidebook, beautifully designed, illustrated by Jivanandams. I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly, but I gave it a try, I guess. We can call it that. Letter of authentication and authenticity certificate. That's really beautiful. And then you have one of the artworks, Lord Ganesh. Then you have your table of contents. Introduction, how to use cards, card spreads, and the Lakshmi Oracle cards. They are actually, they are in alphabetical order, which also is awesome. Of course, sometimes I don't always know how to pronounce and how to spell some of these gods and goddesses, but I love god and goddesses decks. And I'm a big fan, as I said, I'm a big fan of traditional Hindu artwork, but also I'm a big fan of just Hindu traditions in general, in Hindu gods and goddesses. I really do like their mythology and what they have to say. I'm not Hindu, I definitely don't like practice Hinduism, or Sanatana Dharma as they call it. But I do find that their energy and their guidance is just really intriguing, really beautiful. So it is in alphabetical order. Then we get into the introduction section. We get into the focus of Hinduism is to know oneself plus obtain moksha, or liberation, from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. We have some quotes here as well. Then how to use the cards, working with Hindu deities, which this is actually really cool. Because maybe you're brand new and you're like, I'm not quite sure how to work with the Hindu deities. Who are they? Here it gives you a bit of synopsis on how to work. Clearing and blessing your cards and reading for other people. And then we get into the card spreads. You have your 1 card, your 4 card. You have an 8 card spread. That's pretty much it. You don't get a whole lot of card spreads. Then you get into the cards. They are pretty much the same throughout. You get a small color depiction, then you get the title of the goddess. You have the number, of course, the goddess, what the goddess does. She's a goddess of the universe. And then there's a bit of a little blurb here that says Durga comes to earth to destroy the evil forces of the universe when they become too strong. You have a little paragraph of who Durga is, and then a channeled message from Durga Devi, which I think this is super cool. This reminds me a little bit of the Osset Oracle cards. Okay, so I went to pick up the deck, the Osset Egyptian Oracle cards, also by Elizabeth Jensen. And just to give you a little bit of a side-by-side, very quick, I do love this blue lotus. So we got some lotus action going on. This is also by Elizabeth Jensen, and when you get to a card, you have a little paragraph explaining what the card is, or who the god is, or the energy. Then you have a channeled message. For example, Khnum, the creator god, then you have a channeled message. And then in the back you have abundance, love, work, career, travel, health, family, and future. And you actually have something very similar on here as well. So for example, this one is number 9, Gayatri Devi, the mother of devotion. Then you have your little blurb, you have your paragraph and the channeled message from Gayatri. And then you have guidance from Gayatri when it comes to different aspects. For example, love, abundance, work and business, education, and future. Then you have a blessing from Gayatri for spiritual peace. And then you have a mantra. This mantra is a little bit long. Om Bur Bhuva Shva Tat Shavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dimahi Dio Yona Prachadaya. I think I said that correctly. I hope I did. It's a bit of a longer one, but you can say that. And it tells you how many times you want to say it. 3 times each day for 3 successive days. I believe some are longer than others. This mantra is also long. It says twice before and after your meditation. And then drink half of the milk and give the rest to a family member or pets. Interesting. So there's a bit of a ritual going on here as well, which you can choose to do or not do. But that's how it's constructed. You have your God, your paragraph about it, a channeled message, which I love, and then perhaps whatever you're asking about. If you're asking about the future, your work, money, or love, here's what that card or that God has to say. Okay, so that's the book, the beautiful guidebook. I do find this artwork to be really beautiful. So let's look to the cards. I will be showing you guys all cards, okay? So I'm gonna go through all 36 of them. If you don't wanna see all of them, you can jump around, you can skip this part, but I will be showing you guys all of them, okay? All right, so we're starting out with Ayyappan, the god of spiritual growth. One critique that I will say is that I do find the borders to be a little thick on the sides. I do wish that perhaps the artwork was a little bit bigger. Of course, I'm a fan of no border, but borders don't really bother me. I just do find these 2 on the sides to be extremely thicker than the top. But anyway, so that's one. We have Bhumi Devi, the Mother Earth. Brahma. Chandra, the Moon God, beautiful. The God of Medicine. Durga Devi, we checked that out for a little bit, the goddess of the universe. Ganga, goddess of the Ganges. The carrier of Vishnu. Gayatri Devi, mother of devotion. Lord of the cows. Hanuman, Lord of the world. Kanchi Kamachi. And forgive me if I'm mispronouncing any of these. I don't mean to be offensive. I like to try. At least I like to try. God of love, Kamadeva. Goddess of liberation. Of course, we have our beautiful Lakshmi, the goddess of good fortune. Lord Ganesha. Lord Shiva, the father of Lord Ganesha. The mother goddess of women. Goddess of valor. The divine enchantress. Ooh, I like that. Murugan. Deliverer of the fallen. What I like also is, even though there are a lot of different gods and goddesses, they added cards that I feel like you could do. Parvati, the mother of Ganesha. How beautiful. I feel like you could do like a whole reading with this deck. Of course, there are spreads in the cards, right? Mother of all mothers. I wonder what the difference is between, I guess, the mother of women and then the mother of all mothers. The goddess of satisfaction. But there are, like, I think enough cards where you could do multiple readings, pull multiple cards and see what reading you get. Shri Krishna, the supreme god. Shri Radha, the supreme goddess of love. Shri Rama, king of Dharma. Shri Vishnu, the maintainer of the universe. And I believe Krishna and Vishnu are avatars, right, of each other. The sun god. Tulsi Amma, the goddess of Tulsi plants. The demon slayer and destroyer of evil. And the goddess of purification. So you've got 36 cards. I'm a big fan of this traditional Hindu art. I think it's just really beautiful. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the Lakshmi Oracle review and walkthrough. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.